Hey, yo, what's up? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. What's good? I told you I felt like going, I'm just doing some laundry. Feel like doing another stream. We back. We going to talk about it. Shout out to Kamal Oz. Kamal Oz, heavy, holding it down. Desmond Parker, Carlian, Young Gun, what's good? Renee from Mexico, what's up? Yo, smash the like button. YouTube been hating crazy, but we still putting out content. Going crazy, getting that money, so whatever. Andrade versus Charlo. We all know that Charlo will dust his next opponent early. Yeah. No, listen, we going to talk about it. I need y'all to smash the like button so we can get it cracking. Smash the like button, we'll get it cracking. Y'all ready? Man, I've been wanting to talk about this. We got a little rosé. We got a little bit of rosé. We're going to talk about this. Smash the like button. Listen, as I make different transitions, like moving into this new spot and all that, I see how important I am to the game because, like, at the end of the day, the game is, I can't leave boxing alone. The game needs me. Like, there's a lot of, just mark my words, and you guys, I'm sure you guys see different stuff. There's a lot of really weird takes in the sport of boxing. And it's like, it's crazy. So all I could do is do what I do, put it out there for the fans, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. But a lot of really weird takes in boxing. And you now see why there's an elite few that probably have staying power, you know what I mean? And can really do this boxing grind like full time and, have a high accuracy rate. And there's a lot of weird takes. So I want to give you guys my take on this whole Demetrius Andrade situation. So Demetrius Andrade versus Charlo, that's a good fight, But my thing is this. I see the vehicle and I see the double standards, and I'm not finna fall for the trap. Y'all fell for the mouse trap. I'm not falling for the mouse trap. Like, y'all, there is an agenda. Old media continues to do the same thing. Listen, I'm going to jump right into it. Eddie Hearn, first of all, you got to look at it like this. First of all, after Andrade beat Liam Williams, I thought he won convincingly. This is coming from me. I thought he won convincingly. I gave Liam Williams like 3 rounds. I gave him like 3 rounds. He had heart, but he was missing. He has 0 defense, and he was getting popped. He was getting hit with shots. He lost, right? And he got dropped, and he got hurt. And Andrade started off strong, closed strong. Rounds 11, 12 were Andrade's best late rounds. Rounds 1 and 2 were his best early rounds, probably. 10-8 round and all that. So he started strong, closed strong. Heart of a champion, undefeated. He remained undefeated. Rightful decision. This wasn't controversial. This wasn't like there was a robbery. This didn't need a tiebreaker or rematch. He got whooped. Liam, another UK fighter bites the dust, right? So my question is this. Post-fight, they did an interview, and Eddie Hearn starts crying and saying the champions need to fight Andrade and this and that. But listen to the propaganda, listen to the machine, listen to the old media narratives. We are supposed to now blame Charlo for Eddie Hearn, Demetrius Andrade, Team Andrade, and DAZN's inability to make for compelling fights for Andrade for the last several years. No, it is not Charlo, Andrade, that's a good fight, but there's a lot of good fights for Andrade. But guess what? The fight that, listen to what I'm saying carefully. That's why I say I'm the realest in boxing. I talk that talk, but I always back it up. I told you this is the closest thing to Floyd Mayweather in the ring when it comes to boxing talk. I'm TB Ego, so watch how I work. Andrade versus Charlo is by far the most difficult out of a slew of reasonable fights. Andrade versus Charlo, based on their political involvements and who they're with, the inherently harder fight to make, right? You got an Al Heyman fighter, PBC, fights on Fox Showtime, and you have an Andrade fight who's fighting on an app, a platform, crap app, right? In addition, both Charlos, Jermell and Jamal, and when it comes to black fighters, there's this divide and conquer mentality that we see oftentimes from people like Eddie Hearn, where they're trying to bash Jermall Charlo and praise Jermell Charlo to, I guess, have one felony, divide and conquer. You guys get it. They did this during slavery. We'll have one slave and he was like helping the auction or, snitching and recruiting slaves and stuff like that. So we've seen this type of mentality even back in the day, in the slave days, divide and conquer. You get to sleep inside. You think you get special privileges, so you help corral the other slaves and stuff. So they're trying to divide and conquer. Jermell and Jamal, they're twins. They're brothers. They're twins, whatever. But anywho, Andrade, since he's been with DAZN and even before that, he hasn't been able to fight any of the best names. Now, there's interviews with Eddie Hearn when DAZN first came out, and what DAZN was supposed to be and represent, they have not lived up to. Eddie Hearn says we got the best guys from 160 to 168. So if Jermall Charlo wants to become a star, he has to go through us. The lie detector test determined that was a lie. Smash the like button. Jermall Charlo got it popping with PBC and his brother and his performances, regardless of anything DAZN was doing. And while Andrade's career has stalled out and he hasn't been able to get the big names because DAZN hasn't put him in a position to get any big names, now they're looking for a scapegoat. Listen, I'm going to ask one more time. I'm all business right now. If you like these streams, I already did a stream earlier. So if the interaction is not there and YouTube is tripping, fine. I'll get off, do my other stuff. I need y'all to smash the like button. I'm not playing no games right now. Like, I'm trying to cook. I'm trying to get to the bag. I told you the only way I'm doing these streams, likes or loot. Take it or leave it. And if we can't get this stream popping, then I'll try back later. I got to balance my time. I'm one person on a grind. YouTube is tripping. They're not sending no notification. I don't know. I can't help that. But for the people who are here that want to be here, that want to, keep things rocking, y'all got to do what y'all do. Anywho, so you look at it. Demetrius Andrade hasn't received any. He's been on DAZN. Eddie Hearn used to brag about having the best guys at 160 to 168, saying that Jamal needed to fight on DAZN. That's not true. And the only important fight that fans wanted that they've made in that whole range that has already happened is Danny Jacobs versus Canelo Alvarez. So fast forward to the future. Hold on. I'm starting to think DAZN. Hold on, my man Hustler's home. We got a channel member. We always got it. They have to take preference when they leave comments. I'm starting to think DAZN signed Andrade to try to get Charlo, of course, because he had the top spot fighters at 160 and he hasn't fought any of them. All they're doing is screaming Charlo. Exactly. A1 Diggs, what's up? Y'all get the likes up, bro. YouTube is hating. I can't control that. I could just keep demonstrating. So my thing is this. It is, okay, Demetrius Andrade Charlo is the hardest fight to make based on the political involvements and stuff that I just mentioned. So why is DAZN's number one? Bro, this is pitiful. This is absolutely dreadful and pitiful for boxing when the narrative for a company is surrounded on another company's fighter. Like, you can't do nothing for Andrade to get him popping. Like, listen to what I'm saying. You have all these fighters from 160 to 168. You can't do anything to give Andrade a meaningful fight unless he fights Charlo. Like, that's it. So Andrade could clearly fight Gennady, had no guys, Triple G, Golovkin. He could have clearly fought Canelo. He could have clearly fought Billy Joe Saunders. He could have fought Caleb Smith when he was undefeated and y'all said he was so good, right? They never rescheduled the Billy Joe Saunders, et cetera, et cetera. So how is it the hardest fight to make is the fight that they're pushing for the most? Because it's a game, because it's an agenda, because it's propaganda. They're trying to, just like, it's like taking the page out of Bob Arum, Top Rank's handbook. You see it with Crawford. Oh, Crawford, you know, at one point, if you remember, PBC is the cancer of boxing. This is what Bob Arum was saying. They're the cancer of boxing. They ruin boxing. They're hurting boxing. Woom, woom, woom. Al Heyman's the devil. Whatever, you know, whatever people had to say. That's why. That's why. You know, and you can't give, like, just like Bob Arum couldn't give Terrence Crawford to this point any dope welterweight fights. So you have to look for a scapegoat and somebody to blame. Who can we blame? Oh, that's right, PBC, who has a ton of fighters and they're doing their thing and making fights, right? Making fights. So that's what we're seeing with Eddie Hearn and Demetrius Andrade, right? Here's another fun fact. Shout out to my boy Kamal for helping, you know, align the stars and keep me on track. I told you, you dealing with Focus Me. They can't with Focus Me, I promise you. When I focus in, there ain't nobody dealing with me. There is nobody better at what I'm doing when it comes to talking this boxing. They don't have the mental dexterity to mess with me. So here's a fun fact. Shout out to Kamal Oz for, you know, helping me remember and you know, stay on point. Jaime Munguia right now is Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade's mandatory. You have a Mexican fighter out of Mexico who is the WBO mandatory for Demetrius Andrade, right? Or he was, and then he didn't fight him, so maybe Liam Williams became it. But Jaime Munguia was supposed to fight Demetrius Andrade. Jaime Munguia has had 3 fights fall apart. Golden Boy fighter Jaime Munguia has had 3 fights fall apart for Jaime Munguia to the point where they had to postpone his fight, right? Gennady Golovkin, they were in negotiation with. Golovkin ducked it or whatever. Then Jaime Munguia versus Mad Selesky. Then Selesky said he was injured. Then Demetrius Ballard, and then Ballard said he was injured. So Andrade surely would get credit fighting a game, tough. You guys like toughness so much. Mexican fighter from Mexico who has a ton of heart, good offense, good combination punching, pretty big for the division, right? Not much on the defense, but he's a solid fighter and a former champion. So Eddie Hearn is putting him in there with these UK guys that people aren't even familiar with. They're not even familiar. Liam Williams and stuff like that. Lucas Keeler. And you wonder why a Black American Olympian and undefeated fighter like Demetrius Andrade ain't getting the recognition he deserves. Because the names that resonate with Americans that would help the profile of a Black American fighter, Demetrius Andrade, DAZN will not make any of those fights. They are not forcing any of those fights. You can't force a fighter to fight if they don't want. Then why would you sign a bunch of fighters that are afraid to fight one man? Stop it. Y'all making excuses. I'm destroying. I'm slaughtering. I come to pillage the village. Smash the like button. It's over. You're lying. Okay, so you mean to tell me all the DAZN's fighters in that weight category are scary? You know what I mean? You're saying you can't force them to fight. So Wilder was knocking out everybody, but he could still get fights. So despite the threat of Wilder, probably the most powerful dude in the history of sport of boxing, Dominic Breazeale and all these other people were up for the challenge. But Andrade can't get nobody to fight him? Come on. Listen, what would you rather fight? A guy like Wilder that just knock you out and make you into a meme and separate you from your senses embarrassingly and have you get injured on the way down and have seizures and fall on your leg? Or would you rather fight Demetrius Andrade? Come on. If people will fight Wilder, a knockout artist, if he can find fights, then anybody can find fights. It don't matter if they're awkward. They could be Devin Haney where they're tricky boxers and stuff like that. If a power puncher that is a heavyweight like Wilder, if he can find fights, then anybody can find fights. Because I don't know who in their right mind, like the average citizen, would even want to fight Wilder. They all waiting on Canelo. Just block this dude. I don't know who it is. I don't care what you talk about. Block CG. Block CG. He says separate you from your soul. Just block him. Block him. I'll continue once he's blocked. Bro, these dudes don't run the show. We run the show. Ego's Army, stand up. And it's going to be that way, baby. Piscola in the house. Y'all going to let me cook. Each and every one of you, y'all going to let me cook. So once again, Golovkin or Wilder, Kovalev, all these punchers, they can find fights. Kovalev found fights when he was looking like the Crusher. He fought Jean Pascal. He could find Andre Ward. They're out there. You're not making, DAZN is making zero attempt to even give Andrade any of these fights. So once again, it becomes a game and it becomes a scapegoat and a blame game. We can't get you popping, so we got to blame somebody. Oh, I emailed Charlo and Charlo didn't respond to me. Okay, Charlo won't respond to you or whatever you're saying. Put Andrade in there with Triple G. How does Eddie Hearn have the careers of Canelo right now he's been working with? Triple G he has Caleb Smith, he has Billy Joe Saunders, and he has Andrade, and he had Jacobs. I don't know what's up with Jacobs now. That's 6 fighters, including Andrade. So that's 5 names that would give him credit that he's not fighting. And then you have Jaime Munguia, who's his mandatory, who's also on the same platform, DAZN, and that's a Golden Boy fighter. So I literally named off the top of my head 6 names, so everybody else can get fights except for Demetrius Andrade. And now, like I said, the game becomes, oh, Charlo's ducking Andrade. No, we're not doing that. Ego, my question is, why won't these other fighters and champions, hold on, let me expand this a little. What's up, Ego? My question is, why won't these other fighters and champions send an offer to Andrade? Bro, Andrade is not popping because of DAZN. That's why. What are you talking about? You saying, okay, Charlo's making, both of them, they're making a bag, right? And this might hurt some feelings, what I'm saying. I'm just giving you the cold hard facts. Charlo's look like they're enjoying life. They're getting their brand up. They have plans. Charlo has said he will fight against David Benavidez. They could be working on that for the future, right? Charlo could be like, I might go up to 168. Do you see what I'm saying? And he's just doing a couple more fights here. We don't know. We don't know. All you know is he's fighting Montiel and the other one's fighting Castano. When you're popping, you're popping. Like me, like my channel, I do this full time. I've been doing it for years. My bills are paid. I'm good. Life is good. We just buying stuff for the channel, chilling. You know, I'm working on stuff. I don't have to look down at what other channels are doing. I don't care what other channels are doing. You see what I'm saying? So that's the reality. Why, like, bro, Andrade is trapped on an app. He's trapped on a crap app. Why they got to send him an offer? They popping. Both Charlos was just on a pay-per-view. When's Andrade on pay-per-view? They could never put him on pay-per-view because of the type of selection of opponents they're giving him. Even if DAZN wanted to do pay-per-view, they couldn't put Liam Williams and Andrade on no damn pay-per-view. So back to what I was saying, it becomes a blame game. DAZN and Eddie Hearn and Andrade, they want to blame Al Heyman and Charlo for the failures of Andrade's career, but they refuse to give Andrade quality names that are easier to make. That don't make sense to me. Here's another, I'll further the point. People talking about Charlo next opponent when Benavidez' next opponent got the same number of losses and got beat up by Korobov. I ain't worried about that. People always going to hate, you know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. But Demetrius Andrade, he also said, I'm just telling you what's real. He also been making fun of Charlo for fighting the Montiel dude who's coming off a career best performance. But one fight ago, Andrade was just fighting against Lucas Keeler. This Montiel dude, just how he has power and ferocity, he looked better than Lucas Keeler. At least he got, like, you know what I'm saying? He got heart and he's coming off a stoppage win in one round. What are we talking about? So how can Andrade make fun of Charlo for his resume and look at the names Eddie Hearn's getting him? Mad Selesky after Jacobs beat him, after he got dropped and had a war with Gabe Rosado. Lucas Keeler. So how can you just fought Liam Williams. How can you make fun of anybody, bro? Who was Liam Williams? Outside of the Eddie Hearn circle and the British Teeth, oh yeah, one more week, mate. Outside of the UK, who thought Liam Williams was the truth? You know what I'm saying? So you can't be too hard up on who Charlo's fighting. Come on, bro. I'm catching bodies. What's popping though? I'm catching bodies. Y'all can't with me. So anyway, what this boils down to is the lack of ability to score any big fights for Andrade. And about 5, 6, 7 of them are DAZN fights. Here's what I'm saying. Here, let me tie this all together for you, right? Let me tie it all up because this is what I do. I told you I'm focused right now. So PBC, right? And listen, mark my words, because when people don't like the truth, they try to deflect from it. So they'll say, oh, you love PBC. I'm just telling you what it is. If you have a way to diffuse or rebuttal what I'm saying, say that. Don't say, oh, you're a PBC lover. Tell me what I said that was wrong. See, once again, I tell you, I've been in this game for years. What people try to do is distract you from the truth. I'm speaking the truth, and I'm speaking to you. So they'll try to do, oh, you're just a PBC fanboy, like all this stupid stuff. That don't have nothing to do with what I'm saying. You can call me names or whatever. Do that to me when you see me. Call me them names when you see me. But let's focus on what's being said. See, people don't want to focus on what's being said because they be dead, bro. They can't argue these points. They know what I'm saying is true. They know the prodigal son has returned. Everything I've said is Andrade, the fighter or so ago, fought Lucas Keeler. This is all true. They can't compete with me. I promise you that. Smash the like button. So don't say, oh, Ego, you saw, oh, you PBC lover. Oh, you just like the chart. Tell me what I'm saying that's wrong. That's what I'm after. The moment a man or woman or dog or whatever you guys are can defeat me and the points I'm making, then we got some action. But if you can't do that, you might as well just remain silent or agree. So Charlo, a fight ago, he just fought Sergey Derevyanchenko. This is a fact. Derevyanchenko, in my honest opinion, whooped Triple G. Triple G ducked Derevyanchenko when Derevyanchenko was first his mandatory because he didn't want to spoil his chances at a Canelo rematch because Canelo was out here failing drug tests. These are facts. So in an effort to not mess up his Canelo 2 bag when Canelo undoubtedly would, clear up and be able to fight in a Canelo Triple G 2, which they did do, he didn't want to take no tough fight with Derevyanchenko, so he ducked him, right? Then he later had to fight him because he wasn't a champion. Canelo had beat him, and Triple G fought Derevyanchenko, and you see why he ducked him. He struggled with him, and Derevyanchenko won. Triple G never rematched him. How come when you got the complexion for the protection, you go through a tough fight, you don't have to rematch him? But Jamel, tough fight with Tony Harrison, close loss, he rematched him. He wanted an immediate rematch, but Tony Harrison pulled out with an injury. Come on, bro. Y'all got to keep up. I'm cooking y'all. Y'all got to keep up. So anyway, Triple G, he should have been fighting Derevyanchenko in a rematch, but he didn't. and he left that to Jermall Charlo. So why would I knock Jermall Charlo, who just fought in October, and he fought a tough fight that Triple G ducked and then got whooped by and never rematched? So even if you don't like the Montiel fight, the man just fought in October. So every fight he got to fight nonstop murderers. Like, come on, bro. And he's fighting a guy off the best career performance that guy's had. And his only loss is to Jaime Munguia. Or not his only loss, but his only stoppage loss. Come on, bro. They can't keep up when it comes to this boxing talk. I swear to you. I swear. They not greater than me. They not greater than me. I promise you. That's why y'all just sit there and listen. They not greater than me. They can't tell you more facts than me. You could get mad and grit your teeth and all that, but you can't prove me wrong, bro. Oh, hold on. Every time I start cooking, YouTube start acting up. You see, I told you I'm a problem, bro. I'm short-circuiting the internet or something. Every single time I start murdering y'all with these facts, something happens to the chat. But whatever, we back. So anyway, Derevyanchenko, Triple G should have rematched him. But no, Charlo had to whoop him and bash his eyes into his face, and now he dropping down to 154. Listen, if you guys, I'm gonna say it one more time. If you don't get the likes up, deuces. So we're going to try this one more time. The way these multiple streams come to you, likes or loot. YouTube is hating. I can't control that. But I can control my crowd and the supporters and the people that want to be here. So if there's ever more negativity and more haters than people that want to be here, I can't control YouTube hating and all this weird stuff. If you're enjoying the chat, likes or loot, y'all better let that be known. Because I'm cooking and I'm destroying y'all. So I need that light. I need to see the likes go up. A lot of y'all being lazy and stuff. You know, we can slow up on the comments till we get the likes up. But anywho, these are all facts, people. These are all facts. Triple G should have rematched Derevyanchenko. But guess what? He fought a guy with 5 knockouts. And the racist and the bias and the old media and stinking ass Eddie Hearn, guess what? He didn't say jack shit about Triple G fighting Camille Sesmeta, a guy with 5 knockouts. So, yeah, let me get mad at a black fighter from America and ish on his fight. Oh, who's this guy's name? I don't know who he is. Charlo versus Montiel. But you are the same promoter and the same person that just put Triple G in there with Camille Sesmeta, a guy with 21 fights, and he had 5 knockouts. Charlo is at least fighting a Mexican fighter that showed heart and got James Kirkland out of there in 1 round. So at the very least, if he's not on Charlo's skill level, he has threatening power. Triple G is the destroyer and Kazakh Thunder and all this. Hey, no, guys, right? But he's fighting a guy with 5 knockouts. So let's talk about that. Y'all want to talk about facts? Then let's talk about that. Triple G fought Steve Rolls at a catchweight. Why didn't he fight him at 168 where Steve Rolls was from, right? What are we talking about? So Eddie Hearn ain't saying nothing about this, but he got a problem with Jermall Charlo's opponent. He put Demetrius Andrade in there with Lucas Keeler. That's some UK, you know what I'm saying? So Eddie Hearn got all this energy for everybody else's mismatches, but you ain't saying nothing about the ones you doing. You the same promoter that had people go out to Miami for Canelo versus Average Pilgrim. What are we talking about in boxing? I'm cooking y'all. I'm cooking y'all. I promise. That's why what I'm doing, I know what I'm doing. I'm destroying them. I'm destroying them. You just had Canelo fighting Average Pilgrim in February, but you got a problem with Jermall Charlo and Montiel. You got these UK Sam Egington and, you know, Ted Cheeseman versus Gouda Gary, and you ain't saying nothing about that. You had Dillian White in Gibraltar with Alexander Povetkin. He looked like he couldn't even stand up straight. Listen, let me get this straight. You was in Gibraltar to rock with Dillian White, and Alexander couldn't even stand up straight. Listen, I said I gotta get this straight. You was in the Rock of Gibraltar with Dillian White and Povetkin couldn't even stand up straight. Man, I demonstrate, bro. I crush all of these dudes, bro. I promise you that. They not on the level. What are we talking about? Block Xavier, get him out of here. He could go. Shout out to Kamal Oz. The money keep coming in. Clinello, Duck, Andrade, Maul. He said Clinello, Duck, Andrade, Maul, and Derevchenko. Let's go, bro. Block Xavier Barrios. We're going to send you back to the barrio. Yeah, get him out of here, bro. I promise I'm cooking all y'all. What's popping? Nah, what's popping? Business Brain, clap that boy. Get him out of here. Care what these dudes is talking about. They can't listen. I told you before it started what was going to happen. I said I was going to say and spit the truth. The prodigal son has returned, and they was going to say everything but a response to what I'm saying. Okay. So how are we listening to Eddie Hearn, who I guess is an authoritarian or authority on boxing, and he's saying, oh, why is Charlo? He's trying to create these little seeds and, these talking points. Oh, why is Jamal Charlo fighting against Montiel? But you had Dillian White with Povetkin, and the man looked like his back was broke. Like he couldn't even stand up. His equilibrium was shot. This is the same person that I'm supposed to believe. Andrade and Eddie Hearn are trying to roast Charlo, but Andrade just fought Lucas Keeler. These are facts. You took Andrade to Miami to fight Liam Williams and Lucas Keeler, and you have the audacity to say something about Jamal Charlo, who just fought Derevchenko, who Triple G ducked a rematch from and ducked previously, and now he's fighting a guy coming off his best win in Montiel. Man, y'all got to make this make sense. You guys, I need someone to make this make sense. That's like a homeless person telling me my place ain't big enough. What? And my new place is pretty spacious. But how you homeless? Bro, how are you homeless going to say my place ain't big enough? You have no place. You under a bridge, under a freeway. What are we talking? Bro, you listen, y'all got to make this make sense for the God. You are homeless and you're trying to say my place ain't big enough. I'm going to bury old media and dig them up. I said, you're homeless. You said my place ain't big enough. Old media, I'm going to kill them and I'm going to dig them up. Listen, it don't make sense. How is a homeless person going to tell you your place and your spot, your crib ain't big enough? You are homeless, sir. You're a troll. You live under a bridge. You rub sticks to make fire. How you going to say so? That's Eddie Hearn, bro. That's Andrew. Man, come on, bro. What y'all talking about? Man, y'all got to make this make sense real quick. You live in the streets and you said my place ain't big enough. Where they do that at? Like, bro, Montiel, you just put Canelo in there with who? Average Pilgrim. You just put Liam Williams and Andrade as a main event. You put Lucas Keeler or Liam Keeler or whatever with Andrade. And you got the nerve to say something about somebody? Okay. Like, come on, bro. Kamal Oz, you got to bring Ego Veli back, Tupac to roast the zone. Man, they roasting themselves and with their actions. So, like I said, it's all propaganda. It's all like a scapegoat. Yeah, like Triple G ain't fighting Andrade. Why Charlo? Why is it up to the black fighter that you don't even manage the career of to save the day and fight Andrade? You not make Canelo fight that motherfucker. Make Triple G fight him. Make Billy Joe Saunders fight him. Why? How? Okay, listen. I'm about to catch so many bodies. It's crazy. It's crazy. Listen, I got a perfect analogy for everybody. If y'all want to hear this analogy from the God of boxing talk, Can I get a hell yeah in the comment section? Watch how I cook them. I am the king of analogies. Just you wait. If y'all want to hear this analogy, I got y'all. Can I get a hell yeah? We going to pull up. Listen. If y'all want to hear this analogy, can I get a hell yeah in the comment section? I'm ready. And this ain't De La Hoya on the mic. I'm great. This is wine. I'm Gucci. I ain't gonna mess up on the mic. I don't mess up on the mic. I don't mess up on the mic. I'm one take Jake. I only need one take for this. All right, let me catch this body real quick. Pete, smash the like button. So, king of analogies. This is like your parents not disciplining you and your siblings, but got the audacity to try to discipline someone else's kids. Let me connect the dots because, they say I talk a little fast. If you listen real fast, I ain't got to slow down for you to catch up. Bitch. Listen, that would be like your parents, like you're bad as hell. Your siblings are bad as hell. They don't discipline you and teach you how to act in public, but then some other somebody else's kid, some stranger's kid, you're trying to discipline them and scold them, but you're not even taking care of your own kids. Now, let me connect the dots for y'all. Demetrius Andrade is on the platform DAZN. Canelo has been fighting on DAZN for years. Triple G has been fighting on DAZN for years, multiple fights. Caleb Smith, Billy Joe Saunders, Danny Jacobs, Triple G, all them, right? For years. Like I said, you want to spread this propaganda that the one PBC fighter, Charlo, is ducking Andrade, but you have several guys that would be great fights for Andrade, including Jaime Munguia, who's on DAZN but with Golden Boy. But you've worked with Golden Boy. When Canelo had Golden Boy, you worked together for fights like Rocky Fielding. So how come DAZN can't put this together to make in-house fights that are meaningful to brand Andrade? That's the question. You're not going to put this all in the lap of Charlo and PBC and Al Heyman. You have more people on your own side in-house that would also be very good fights, if not better and more meaningful. And here's another thing. I'm telling you, I'm slicing them like Ginsu. You notice this is the age-old tactic from old media, right? They often, the racists and the bias and the old media people, they often say that black fighters like Charlo, he ain't fought no one, and Korobov really beat him, and he sucks, and he won't fight. So why would you want Demetrius Andrade to fight the guy that you're ostracizing, but then you say Canelo is the greatest and pound for pound number one, and you say Triple G, they said he was pound for pound number one a few years ago. So the two non-black fighters that are the greatest with great resumes that nobody issues on, you don't want to see Andrade fight them, but you tell us they're so great. But then the guy you tell us is bunk and overrated and lost to Korobov, that's the fight you're pushing for. It doesn't make sense. So somebody got to be lying. Either you really rate Jermall Charlo and you think he's better, but then you're trying to dump on him and make him look like he's not good or something, but you can't have it both ways. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Old media tells us that Charlo's overrated and, Benavidez will destroy him and Korobov beat him. This is what they say. So if you really felt that, then why would you want to see Andrade fight him if he's all those horrific things? And then the guys you're telling us are truly great. Nobody's questioning Canelo's resume. Nobody really questions Triple G's resume outside, or nobody in old media. So why don't Triple G or Canelo fight Andrade? And he'll really get a lot of props if he can beat him. Tell me how that works. Tell me how that works. Boo Boo had his chance. He pulled out of the Jermell Charlo fight like a dude that doesn't want to pay child support. See, that's another add-on. Great point. Great point. That's what I'm saying. Some people don't even know about that. That's what I'm saying. And people are saying, why don't Charlo send him a offer? Why? They already sent him an offer and had a signed deal, and he pulled out because he wanted more money. Whose fault is that? Come on, bro. Y'all getting tortured. Bro, Ego's army is torturing y'all. Stop it. You know it don't make sense. So you could have fought Jermell Charlo. It was a signed, done deal. I remember Showtime. I remember the card it was supposed to be on. Amir Khan versus Devin Alexander. And that was years ago. That was years ago. It was on that card. Andrade pulled out because I was so hyped for the fight. I was like, oh, Jermell Charlo and Demetrius Andrade. So why we can't blame Jermell Charlo? He didn't pull out. He was about that life. Andrade was like, nah, I want more money. I mean, how do you sign for a fight and then realize you want more money after? This is facts. And then now, fast forward to the future, your former promoter and now DAZN haven't put you in big fights for whatever reason. They can't manage to do that. And it's another promoter's problem? Man, come on, bro. And you see that this is the same thing that's kind of happening with Terrence Crawford. Crawford and Andrade's career, there's some similarities. Top Rank ran out of options, but I will say this, Top Rank is a different reason. Top Rank just don't have no welterweights for Crawford. DAZN has 160, 68 people they could have fed and had Andrade fight, win, lose, or draw, but they refused to make those. Top Rank, their situation, they just don't have nobody relevant outside of Crawford. So that's the difference. But it's the same kind of situation where it's like your inability to create a brand for your fighter or help get them to the next level, you want to. It's like you were acting up in school, so your parents don't want to give you a birthday party. So you want to go to the Charlo's birthday party and, spit on the cake so nobody can eat it. That's what's happening in boxing, and you keep seeing it happen. Like, wait, so you got sent to your room and you can't party for your birthday, so you're going to try to ruin the party for everybody else because you angry. That's what we're seeing. Top Rank can't give Crawford the top fights unless he somehow gets the Pacquiao fight, but we still waiting on that. You know what I'm saying? Andrade, DAZN has 5 to 7 plus people that he could have been fighting the last couple of years that people would have respected, but Eddie Hearn keep putting him in there with one more week, mate. Yeah, bro, and they keep putting Andrade in, and then they wonder why his brand hasn't taken off, bro. You keep putting him in there with one more week, mate. Like, bro, nobody knows that dude. Bro, this is Eddie Hearn's lineup. Steady diet of this for Andrade. One more week, mate. Check bang. Your chets bollocks. Bro, this is Andrade's next 16 opponents messing with Eddie Hearn. This is all he could give him. This cuz right here. One more week, mate. Oh yeah, Tyson Fury he beat Wilder. He's slagging him. He beat his black arse. Shit. Bro, this is Andrade's next 18 opponents. Courtesy of Rematch Room Boxing. Oh, he's slagging your mum. Yeah, Andrade, I see your dreadlocks. I'll knocks the bollocks off your dreadlock. Like, bro, come on, bro. Bro. Hey, oh, yeah, Andrade, your dreads, your absolute unit, bruv. Yeah, bruv. Yeah, in it. I'll knock the dreads in it. Your baby thing, Andrade. Bro. Come on, bro. And now it's Charlo's problem because for the last several years they've been not listening to the king of all things, your boy Ego, and putting Andrade in the fights that people would have paid for. They're giving him Lucas Keeler and, Lucas Wheelers and whatever, Luke Perry, Jason Priestley. Man, come on, bro. And then you wonder why Andrade's like forgotten about. He's 35 or whatever age he is, and he's fighting. Oh yeah, bro, he's an absolute unit. Yeah, in it. Bro, where does DAZN get off thinking that in America you were just going to bring a bunch of British fighters that haven't been branded in America, and you were just going to bring them here and then make that a thing? DAZN is Bullock's mate. Yeah. Yeah, in it. Bro, and now you mad because Charlo's is bubbling. Listen, what? Shout out to Simon. Facts. He said Eagle. Ego. I don't see how fighters did not learn from the Mayweather playbook. Cause motherfuckers want to coon. I'm just telling you what it is. What's popping? Yeah, he's an absolute unit, mate. Bro, DAZN had top guys at 160, 68. They ain't make none of them fights except for Canelo Jacobs. None of them. And they just now get into Canelo Saunders when people wanted to see that at 160. Now we got to watch it at 168. Man, come on, bro. Y'all getting hit with the shovel. Shout out to Darnell Price on the Patreon. Man, come on, bro. I came to take over the game. This is not a game. We got another $5 pledge. Come on, man. They know I'm the money keep coming. They know I'm the realest out when it comes to this boxing talk. So yeah, Crawford and Andrade, there's some similarities there because like Brett, this is the name of the game 2021. We can't put you in meaningful fights, so we got to tell the public that it's somebody else's fault. Instead of looking inward, listen, every bad decision I make, no matter if I was peer pressure, it was my fault. You can't go through life looking to blame other people. Listen, every bad decision, like being in the wrong place with the wrong people or bad decisions I made, they were all my fault. You can't go through life just blaming other people because at the end of the day, my parents taught me well. So maybe I shouldn't have been kicked in with this person. Maybe I should have treated this girl better. Maybe I should have did this. Maybe, you see what I'm saying? It's my fault. But these promoters, they don't want to take credit. They don't want to take credit for the inability to promote, as a lot of times as black fighters on their roster, and then act shocked when Terrence Crawford, do you see Bob Arum? Oh, I'm losing money. Yeah, of course you're losing money because you're not putting Crawford in with the fights that people tried to see him fight. You told Sean Porter you want to give him $1 million with his resume. Bro, you can't. How you think you're gonna get Sean Porter for $1 million with the type of bags he's probably being get? He's a commentator. He be getting money that way. He got his own podcast. He got YouTube. He made bags from big fights. How you think Rob Arum trying to bargain with the pay? Now Sean Porter, he wants Bud. I'll tell you this. I got $1,000. And everlasting jawbreakers. I'll give you some jawbreakers, kid. Like, bro, I am not taking $1,000 in jawbreakers. No, to fight Crawford. Like Bob Arum, shout out to Kamal. Showtime tried to sign Andrade after Willie Nelson. Good, sign. Like Charlo said in his tweet, you signed to that dude across the pond. So live by the sword, die by the sword. Bro, Bob Arum trying to get Porter for the jug. That's a Bay Area word. He's trying to get Porter for the low. Your last name is Porter, so I got $250 and a porterhouse steak. medium, or I know your black's like well done. So I got a porterhouse steak for you. Like, bro, you think he gonna fight for $250 and a porterhouse steak? And you wonder why Crawford can't get no fight. I'm like, all right, bro. Same thing with Andrade. Like Eddie Hearn's out here advocating that Charlo's ducking him. Showtime just announced their whole little lineup. How on earth is Charlo ducking Andrade when Andrade just fought yesterday and Showtime a couple of days ago came out with their whole rollout? Some of you dudes and girls or whatever y'all are morons. How are you like, tell me how this even makes sense. Andrade's been in training camp. He just fought yesterday. And Showtime just rolled out a 5-month calendar. And both Charlos were listed in fights. So how is Jamal Charlo ducking Andrade when they both were tied up doing whatever they were doing? Y'all look crazy, bro. Y'all look crazy in this game. Notice I never look crazy unless I'm acting crazy, but not from things I'm saying. It don't make sense. Yo, get them likes up. It don't make sense. So before you come at like Andrade and PBC and Heyman to say it's their fault, you got to look internally and tell me why Andrade can't get no top DAZN names. Listen, I'm about to shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down. Listen, I'm about to shut it down again. Hold on. How is it that PBC is not struggling to make, like, in areas where they have stacked divisions, they're not struggling to make their in-house fights. But DAZN has refused and failed to make top-level fights at 160, 168. Let me give you an example. And we could actually throw Top Rank and Crawford in the mix, too. We could actually throw them in the mix, too. So, Pete, I got you. So, look. If we look promotion by promotion, if you look at, like, let's say PBC has all the top welterweights outside of Crawford. They've made everybody fight everybody. Most people, including myself, believe Errol Spence's next fight will be Ugas. 2 Al Heyman advised fighters, when it matters, probably going to fight each other next. Sean Porter has been through the gauntlet. He's fought Kell Brook on a PBC card. He fought against Keith Thurman, Danny, Berto, Granados, Errol. That's quality. Errol fought Porter, Danny recently, Kell Brook. Keith Thurman fought Pacquiao, Porter, Danny, Diego Chavez, right? These are facts. But from 160 to 168, Canelo didn't fight Andrade. Canelo didn't fight against Triple G yet on the DAZN platform, right? They couldn't get those fights done. Triple G didn't fight Andrade. Triple G didn't fight Canelo. Triple G didn't move up and fight Caleb Smith. Triple G didn't fight Billy Joe Saunders at 160 or 168. So we got to look internal first. How come some of these other promotions can't get their in-house fights done or refuse? How come Top Rank won't make Shakur Stevenson Oscar Valdez? You have both of them. You have both fighters. So before we try to switch gears and get you to focus on other stuff, like why hasn't Andrade fought Charlo? Why hasn't Andrade fought any dope names from Jaime Munguia to Canelo to Triple G to Saunders? on the platform they all fight on. Caleb Smith, any of them, Jacobs, any of them. They all been on DAZN for several years. That's the real question. Yeah. Now we cooking with grease. I tell you, it's a ploy. Distraction tactics to try to get you to, bro, Eddie Hearn's like Donald Trump of boxing. He's trying to get you to distract from the actual issue. Oh, I'm going to build a wall. I'm going to build. So you start worrying about everything else but the actual allegations, like people on your staff that are corrupt and stuff like that. Eddie Trump, Donald Hearn. Same concept. Same concept. Filip Ergovic, he's from Croatia. Alan Babic, he's from Croatia. The two hate each other. Why haven't you made that fight? Anthony Joshua, Dillian White, too. You keep saying Dillian White versus Ruiz, Luis Ortiz, Wilder. Why don't you make Anthony Joshua, Dillian White, too, since they both so good? Because he refuses to make the... That's why I called it rematch room from the beginning. Yeah, I'm glad. Shout out to Business Brains for clapping him. He said DAZN is the Derrick Jackson of boxing. I'm done, bro. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like we're supposed to feel sorry because Andrade hasn't got Charlo, but Andrade hasn't got Triple G either. Canelo hasn't got Triple G on DAZN. Triple G hasn't got Canelo. Triple G hasn't been forced to fight Andrade. They talking about Triple G Murata. Who asked for that? Y'all mad at Charlo Montiel? Who asked for Triple G Murata? Please let me know if that's what. Who asked for Triple G, Says Meta, and Steve Rose? Who? I sound like an owl because y'all can't with me. Who asked for that? Who asked for Canelo Rocky Fielding? So Canelo could fight all these names like Rocky Fielding and Average Pilgrim, but he can't fight Andrade, would be better than both of them names. That'll be a better fight that I would more rather see and pay for and anticipate. Come on, bro. Y'all see the politics? They all passed on fighting Andrade. Who? Wouldn't? Okay, so you need to retire then. Like, so if, okay, why are you, okay, explain this to me. Listen, now I got to get you. Your premise is that nobody will fight Andrade. Then what are you doing? Like, so why don't you retire then? If you just giving up and you're content with you're never gonna get no big names. Because I seen Andrade, he said, I got tired of chasing Canelo for 5 years. But you were at Charlo's fight in 2016 when he beat Julian Williams at the press conference trying to fight Charlo. So you just told the public, Andrade just told the public that the reason he stopped, because Jermell Charlo asked, he said, why have you stopped? Why are you not pursuing Canelo, right? He said, I got tired of chasing him for 5 years. So you were at the Charlo fight when he fought Williams, J-Rock Williams, in 2016. I'm not the smartest brother in the world, but 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, and we in 2021. So you've been chasing Charlo for 5 years too, and you're still clout chasing him. Damn, homie. In high school, you was the man, homie. Come on, bro. It don't make sense. So, bro, Eddie Hearn and Slave Room Promotions, this is what they did. This is how they condition the fighters. Like, notice Dillian White, he talks crazy more often about PBC fighters. Ruiz, Luis Ortiz, or Wilder. Fights they know won't happen, most likely, that are harder to make at the very least. But fights he actually could have that are on DAZN or with Rematch Room, like Filip Ergovic, like a rematch with Joseph Parker, like a rematch with Anthony Joshua, right? Guys that are in the same bracket, Alan Babic. None of those fights are being made. But then you look on the flip side, PBC, I'll get to Kamal Oz in a second. You look at PBC, Brian Castano gets a belt, and they just announced his next fight is Jermell Charlo. I always say, if you want to make an omelet, you got to crack a few eggs. So how is it that PBC is willing to crack a few eggs to make the omelet, but in several divisions, Eddie Hearn and DAZN aren't making the fights that need to be made that would be easy to make in-house fights? Answer that. And while y'all answering that, the money keep coming in. Shout out to Kamal Oz, $2 super chat. Let's go. Eddie Hearns is committing promotion malpractice. That man said promotional malpractice. Shout out to my man Bishop, $5. The money keep coming in. Just tapping in to support your channel, my guy. I just named several. Heavyweight. Dillian White could fight Joseph Parker 2 again instead of clout chasing Wilder and Andy Ruiz. It's not happening. Dillian White could fight AJ. He wants a title shot, fight AJ. They'd rather clout chase the Tyson Fury fight that they say is happening. They'd rather say everything else. Man, come on, bro. Filip Ergovic is not fighting another guy from his region, from Croatia, Alan Babic, and the two don't like each other. So why do we have to watch Alan Babic versus Liam and Alan Babic versus Josephson, but we can't see Alan Babic versus a guy that has bad blood with them? That's why I said rematch room. Shout out to the soulmates. $20. It says long overdue donation, but rocking with you for years, bro. Appreciate you, Eagles Army. Let's go. It all makes sense. They had Luis Ortiz on rematch room. Why didn't he fight Anthony Joshua? Oh, right. The Witness Protection Agency. So before we cast the blame on others, we must first look internally. He said he wanted to bring the Ego Valley intro back. Yeah, we could do that in 2021. We got to cast the blame internally. Listen, I'm sorry to tell y'all, but the money keep coming in. The Cash App $ Boxing Ego, $10. You dig me. Michael Rushing, my guy, $10. Cash App, love. Peace, fam. Much respect. Shout out to my guy, Michael. Daquandre, the money keep coming in. We got a $1 donation from the always heavy supporter, Daquandre Hannon. It said the money keep coming in. Smash the like button. Blessings on blessings on blessings. Eddie Hearn. Block this GQ dude. You're out of here. He said Eddie Hearn only cares about the UK. Okay, make a UK fight. You're not making sense. Make AJ versus Dillian White part 2. If you care about the UK, you're not making the UK fight. You're not making fights that would, you saying Alan Babic is the truth. He was on the fight camps and stuff. Put Alan Babic, Filip Ergovic. So that doesn't even make sense. He only cares about the UK. But why is he not making fights that would appeal to the UK too? The better ones. Like, bro, Derek Chisora just lost to Usyk. He fighting Joseph Parker. Why is Dillian White not fighting Joseph Parker? But instead, Eddie Hearn battery and Dillian White back at Slave Room Promotions, and he'll tell Dillian White to nonstop talk about Wilder, nonstop talk about Andy Ruiz. You aren't getting those fights. So instead of all this capping and clout chase, why don't you make, instead of, who asked for Joseph Parker versus Derek Chisora? And especially when Derek Chisora is coming off a loss. Please let me know. So Joseph Parker couldn't fight Filip Ergovic or Dillian White 2, which would be a better fight than the Derek Chisora. You know, it would be more meaningful. Why? Come on, bro. Y'all getting cooked. Y'all getting cooked. And y'all want me to advocate for Andrade and Charlo so we could place the blame on PBC? Come on, bro. And old media, I've been saying it for years. Notice how when it comes to a black advisor, Al Heyman, and they say Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford figure it out. We don't care about inner promotional beefs and all that. They need to just fight each other and make it happen. You see how unrealistic the fans are? They said bump all that, make Terrence Crawford Errol Spence. How come nobody does this to Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren? You two motherfuckers is both from the UK. We never get to see Joe Joyce versus Dillian White or Daniel Dubois versus Dillian White. So how is it that Al Heyman, instead of doing whatever the PBC is doing, he has to stop what he's doing and save Crawford from irrelevance because Crawford can't get no big names, but Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren don't have to work together on a big fight. And then the one they say they're working together on, Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, they just keep putting it back. Oh, one more week, mate. Why don't you make Joe Joyce versus Dillian White? I mean, you want Crawford? Listen, I'll push Crawford, Errol Spence the day I see them work together on a big fight that I want to see. Like Dillian White, Joe Joyce right now when it matters. Put Anthony Joshua in with Joe Joyce. Somebody. You know what I'm saying? They not working together. Why Al Heyman got to save these dudes? What are we talking about? See, that's what I'm saying. You guys is getting drilled with these points and positions because it don't make sense. What you saying is it don't make sense. Al Heyman got to let bygones be bygones, just work with everybody. But other people in boxing ain't working with everybody. Frank Warren ain't working with Eddie Hearn regularly. So why Al Heyman and PBC got to do it? You know, they say, oh, Charlo needs to fight Andrade. Yeah. So PBC got to work together. But who else is working together? What are we talking about? How many big fights are frequently being made through inter-promotional, cross-promotional boundaries? That's what I'm saying. It's not even consistent, bro. You're not seeing Frank Warren work. Listen, Frank Warren worked with Top Rank for Tyson Fury at least. You're not seeing Joe Joyce versus Jared Anderson or Jared Anderson versus whoever. You know what I mean? Daniel Dubois. So you're not seeing that. So why is it only, I'll tell you, it's a narrative, it's propaganda, it's an agenda, and I keep exposing it. Yeah, you're not seeing, bro, and we're talking in-house. You don't see Top Rank making F.A. Ajagba and Jared Anderson. So they got a plan for whatever guy they want. But then when it comes to PBC, Al Heyman and Steven Espinoza, they got to work on other people's watch. You see how that works? Is Jared Anderson a top-ranked fighter fighting F.A. Ajagba? No, they're not. But when you look at PBC, they have the divisions that are stacked. The guys are fighting. Like when they have like multiple people in that division, they're fighting. Like Arboleda and Chris Colbert, et cetera, et cetera. Like Danny and Porter, Danny Garcia and Errol and Sean Porter. They're all fighting each other. Jamel is fighting everybody relevant except for he hasn't got to Hearn yet, but he's fighting damn near all the other people. Come on, bro. And you want fans to push for Andrade Charlo above and beyond everything else, but Andrade ain't getting no big names on his own platform. That's just the reality. So how about Andrade fight Triple G and Canelo and Jaime Munguia and then fight Charlo? Like, well, how come you can't fight nobody on your own promotion? That's my question. I want to hear your answers. No, please. I want to hear y'all answers. How come Andrade can't fight nobody that we would want to see him fight on his own promotion? Like Canelo, Triple G, Jaime Munguia. Guys that he would get credit for those fights. He can get Lucas Keeler and Liam Williams, though. But he can't get no Triple G. How come? You on the same network. So before we start advocating for Crawford and Spence, which you know these fights are harder to make, promoters got to start making their own in-house fight. UFC don't do this. Bro, Conor McGregor is in a high risk fight with Dustin Poirier, because if he loses again, that's going to be curtains. People are going to be like, oh, okay, I'm over it. But they're making their in-house fights. Stipe fought Francis Ngannou again. He got stretched for it, but he fought him. You see what I'm saying? But a lot of these promoters aren't even making the best fights that they have in. DAZN is not making Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney. So there's a bigger issue in boxing. Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. Devin, he's the champion. Ryan's is mandatory. They're both on DAZN, but they're not making that fight. But you expect and think that Charlo and Andrade will be made easily before that. But DAZN has in-house fights that they're not even making. So how does it become just the PBC and the PBC only their job to cater and be on the same schedule and the same track or path to what other promoters are doing when nobody's really working like that? That's my question to you. And the reason PBC is targeted, one, they have a black man advising that they tried to bash and get out the game and didn't want to be successful. And then two, he has such a deep stable that they just looking like, man, they looking like Rico and Belly. Man, I don't like that. Nah, I don't like that. Like even Crawford, bro. I like Crawford. I like Andrade. I've been saying that for years. I've been backing and hoping and praying they would get big fights. Their promoters have not put them recently in the big fights that the public has shown a massive interest in, to the point that it catapults them to the next level. We know Crawford's good. We know Andrade's good. But what has happened is, in the last several years being with these promoters, these two black fighters have not went over the hump outside of just, this is a good fighter, I have faith in them, but you're on the next level. But how is it that Charlo, Jermell and Jamal, Errol Spence, other black fighters, other minority fighters that are on PBC are ascending and rising their brand in a short space of time? Because they're at least getting the important, pertinent fights in their own bracket, in their own promotion. Meanwhile, Top Rank has Shakur Stevenson. He's been in 2 weight classes with Oscar Valdez. Once again, you have another black African-American undefeated fighter. He keeps calling out Oscar Valdez, but I promise you his next fight won't be Oscar Valdez. Well, they already announced it, but I told you before it wasn't going to be. Before they even announced it, I told you that it wasn't going to be Oscar Valdez. How come? Strike while the iron's hot. Valdez looked excellent versus Miguel Berchelt, embodied him. Why not make it? Even before that, Top Rank, they had the date for Berchelt Valdez. Berchelt got the Rona, and then they just moved the card away, but they could have just made Shakur and Valdez and not had to postpone it and have Berchelt fight the winner, but they chose not to do that. Troy Soares is a regular. Business Brain, unblock him. He's a regular. He's usually cool. Bishop, again, $5. Appreciate you. The money keep coming in. I'm just going to spit the truth and the money going to keep coming in. Not going to lie, boxing at the ain't the same no more. This sport went soap opera on us. Everybody ducking everybody. Boxers make too many excuses nowadays. Kamal Oz, $2. Triple G was Mr. Active before. Now he's on sabbatical. That's what I'm saying, bro. So there's other inherent problems, but people are telling you for agenda's sake and propaganda that other things are the problems, right? The problem is not that Andrade can't fight Charlo and Charlo only. The fact is Andrade can't fight no one to the level he should be fighting, like Canelo, Triple G, Charlo, or similar. That's the issue. That's what the real problem is. They're telling Eddie Hearn and all them, they're telling you the problem is, oh, because the PBC don't want to work with us. Okay, F the PBC. You make Triple G versus Andrade, but instead they rather Triple G don't fight for the rest of the year till December 31st and fight in Japan against a guy nobody wants to see him fight, Murata. Come on, bro. Y'all looking lousy. Come on, bro. Y'all looking crazy. Crazy. Yo, we close to hitting the goal on Cash App. Appreciate y'all. I set little goals. And when I reach those goals, surprises come on the channel. We're very close. Appreciate y'all. Shout out to Kamal Oz. He said, remember when they said $2? Appreciate you. He said, remember when they said Triple G fights for legacy, not money? Yeah, that lasted a long time. Yeah, remember when he tried to clown Mayweather and Conor McGregor? Oh, not true fight. This is not business fight. But then he said he'll fight a YouTuber. And now he's trying to fight in Japan. Man, get him out of here. He need to just retire, bro. It was fun while it lasted. Just retire, please. And that's why boxing, and that's why people like Jake Paul can come in and get buzzed, because boxing got all these little nuanced things. People starting these fake agendas and all this stuff. T Bonafide, keep grinding. Like your style, bro. Shout out to my dude. Man, we working. That's why people like Jake Paul can come in and somewhat steal the spotlight. Because, listen, at the very least, at the heart of it, like him or not, he's doing what he says he's going to do. So that's always commendable. He said, I'm a body Ben Askren. He bodied him. I'm a body Nate Robinson. Don't have your kids watch the fight. Don't have your kids watch the fight. And he bodied him. Jake Paul, he's not the problem. He doing what he said. He's actually one of the only people that is claiming boxing or in boxing. He bringing light to boxing. And he's one of the only people in boxing actually doing what he says he's going to do. He didn't do an Ivan Redcash and then come out and, get on a stretcher for no reason. Bro, that Redcash was doing so much. He was like, my neck. My back. My neck and my back. Bro, Ivan Redcash, get him out of here. Charlo, I'm suing y'all for $150,000. But we can settle out of court right now for $20. Bro, get Ezel Redcash out of this room, bro. I almost said out of the sport because that made me mad, bro. Get Ezel out of here. My neck and my back. Kamal Oz back in the super chat. Bro, Kamal is unstoppable. Why was Triple G fighting 3 to 4 times a year when middleweight suck? Not now. Kamal Oz is on y'all. You know why. Because it don't suck now. And he'll get bucked down. Yeah, fight Charlo. Fight three times a year and have Charlo your second fight. How about that? T Bonafide, $3. Let's go. The money keep coming in. I could do this all day because the money keep coming in. And we have great fans. He said Ivan Redcash deserves an Oscar. You ain't never lie. He did so much. That was so dramatic. So yeah, man. I'm not accepting that Andrade level up. Like, listen, why would your whole career fall on the one person? Like, if he don't fight Charlo, he has to keep fighting Luke Keelers. But he has people on his side that would be awesome fights for him. Shout out to Quality Boxing Corner. The money keep coming in. Been rocking with you for a minute. Keep doing your thing, fam. Man, much love. Appreciate all the support. We just trying to make boxing a fun place, entertaining place. You know, I do my thing. I give you my perspective. Give you my opinion. Just my thoughts. So anyway, that's that. That's the whole little agenda angle that they pushing. And here's another thing. People like DAZN reporters and other reporters, they'll let Eddie Hearn try to switch the narrative to be about Charlo or ask him about Charlo, a PBC fighter that, again, that's the hardest fight to make. Like, if you, okay, tell me what would be easier. Listen, I'm the king of analogies. What would be easier? If you wanted to cook an Italian dish and you had every ingredient and every spice and seasoning needed in your refrigerator and in your cabinets. That, or if you didn't and you were missing ingredients, what would be easier to get that dish done? Listen, if you were trying to make a fancy Italian dish and you had every single ingredient at your house, every spice you would need, every seasoning, or if you were missing some of the ingredients and you had to go to the store, what would be harder? Let me know in the comment section. I'm the king of analogies. I'm going to force you to see what I'm talking about. This ish I'm shoveling. T. Bonify said the first one. Anybody else? Anybody else? I think there's a little bit of a lag. What would be harder? Thank you. Shout out to Splashman. Going to the store. Exactly. So that's a perfect analogy for everything is contained in-house. Everything to make this lasagna that you need, you already purchased and is in-house. That is always going to be easier than you want to make this lasagna, but you don't got the cheese. You want to make this lasagna, but you don't got the lasagna pasta or the sauce or spice or Italian seasoning. That's always good because now you have to take an additional step. So boxing is the same way. DAZN has X, Y, and Z fighters. Certain guys fight in or around the same division. That is an in-house fight. Why can't Andrade fight any proper DAZN name, which would obviously be easier to come up with the terms than working with PBC or working with Top Rank or anybody else when you have all the ingredients to make this dish, to make this meal, to make this recipe contained right there. It's always easier in-house. But guess what? They want you to blame the other side, PBC, for the inability to give Andrade big fights, and they have all the ingredients in-house to make a great dish. Canelo versus Andrade, Triple G versus Andrade. It could have been Billy Joe Saunders versus Andrade. I personally would rather see Billy Joe Saunders versus Andrade, stylistically and build up. But guess what? They're giving you Canelo. Canelo's already proven. I already know Canelo's good. So I would have rather seen the stylistic matchup between Andrade and Saunders, and they should have been fought. But Billy Joe Saunders failed a drug test. They never rescheduled it. So that's why they trying to deflect from their incompetence and their inability to make fights that are compelling in-house so they can turn this narrative into a blame game. Blame Charlo, blame Al Heyman, blame Jermell, blame Jamal, blame Ego. Anybody but blame your mother self for not making the meals that you could make in-house. Hey, actually, I don't even know if he's a regular. Y'all might, if he's that much of a problem, y'all can get rid of him. I don't even know if that's the dude. I thought it was a regular. I don't care because he sounds like he's a problem. If he a problem, get rid of him. I'm going to let my shooters decide. Block him. Business Brain blocked him in 1 second. Woo! In broad daylight. Rockabye, baby. Bro, Business Brain had it. Business Brain said he had enough. All right, I let my shooters make the call. Biz Brady had a snap. All right. I thought it was a regular, but I don't know. Based on the static y'all had, maybe it wasn't. Or maybe he's a rat. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I thought someone had that last name Soares, but I don't know. Maybe he was a rat. Oh, well. My shooter made the right call. Anyway, I'm out of here. I'll be back tomorrow, 2-a-days. Let's keep it up. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. This is easy work. Thank y'all for rocking with me. I got the blackout curtains. We getting close, so I'll be able to start streaming in the streaming room. I'm getting close there, so the sound's gonna pick up and get better. I can't wait for y'all to see what I got in store for the channel. Shout out to everybody who supported. Cash App, $ Box of Egos, Zales, super chats, comments. I promise you I'm working, and you guys will see. So right now, this is, I told you, this ain't the final form. Like, I'm not even in the room where I'm going to be streaming, but it should be a good experience. Hopefully you guys like it. Stay tuned on the channel. Listen, I'm doing 2-a-days, Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. YouTube is tripping, so you may not get a notification. 2 p.m. California time and 7 p.m. California time. This boxing stuff is very easy, so I got to challenge myself. Oh, you unhid him? Oh, I don't know what's going on. They unhid the guy that got hit. So 2 p.m. Cali time and 7 p.m. Back to 2-a-days, Monday through Friday, because that was fun last week. Anyway, I'm going to holler. Peace.